Now that you have personal, course, and campus-wide event information inside of your Moodle calendar, let's go through the process of subscribing to this calendar inside of your local copy of Microsoft Outlook. To do this, go ahead and go over to your calendar block and click on the month that you want to begin the subscription for. In my case, I'm going to click on April 2009. Here we can see the calendar of events that we've been working with in previous movies. At the bottom of the screen, you'll find a button that says Export Calendar. Go ahead and click on this button, and you're taken to the Export Calendar window. Here, you're able to choose the export settings that you'd like to use. You can choose to export all events, meaning all of your personal, course, and campus-wide events, or simply select just events related to your courses. In our case, we'll leave this set to all events. Then, you can come down here to the For section, and you can set the time parameters that you want these calendar events to be exported for. You can either choose to export a single week, just this current month, or the recent and next 60 days. Let's go ahead and select the recent and next 60 days so we get the maximum number of events for our calendar. Then, you have two options over here on the right-hand side, Get Calendar URL and Export. We'll go into both of these in detail. Let's begin by showing how to export our calendar directly into Outlook. To do this, simply click the Export button. Your browser should then prompt you to either open the file with or save the file that's being downloaded. In our case, we'll go ahead and leave this set to Open With and make sure we've got selected Microsoft Office Outlook, which should be the default program. If you're using another calendar program, you may have that option here, or you can choose Other and select it, as long as it supports the iCal Open Standard format. Next, go ahead and click the OK button. This will cause the file to download and automatically open Outlook for us. Then, the calendar is automatically imported directly into our calendars. Here, we can see under My Calendars, we have Other Calendars, and there's a calendar called icalexport.ics. This is going to show all the current events that we have scheduled inside of our calendar on Moodle. Here's our Coral Reef Lectures. Here's the May Day Parade, which is a campus-wide event. And if we scroll down a little bit further, we can see our study session that we created for Wednesday the 29th. Now, one drawback to using this method of exporting our calendars, you're only going to get a snapshot of the calendar as it exists at the time that you export it. This is going to be very helpful if you want to overlay a whole variety of different events to quickly look and see how it's going to interact with your calendars inside of Outlook. However, as events change inside of your Moodle calendar, they're not going to be automatically updated inside of Outlook. To do this, let's go ahead and come over here to the left-hand side and uncheck the box next to icalexport.ics. That'll hide the export that we just did. Then, we'll go back to the Moodle page. Only this time, we'll click the button for Get Calendar URL. A new frame appears with a URL in it. Go ahead and select that URL and copy it with Control-C on your keyboard. Then go ahead and minimize your browser and go back to Outlook. This time, go up to the Tools menu at the top of the page and come down to Account Settings. Then, click on the tab for Internet Calendars and click the New button. Then paste in the URL that we just copied off of Moodle using Control-V. Then click the Add button. A new window is going to open up asking us for our subscription options. We can then choose the folder name for this calendar. By default, it's set to Export Execute, but let's change this to Moodle Calendar. We can give it a description if we'd like, and then we can come down here to Attachments. It asks us if we want to download any attachments for this internet calendar. This is a good idea. We'll go ahead and say yes for this. Then you can set the update limit. By default, it's checked, so we'll go ahead and leave that checked and say OK. We can then see that this calendar's last updated on status is pending. We'll go ahead and leave that alone and now click Close. Now, in our other calendars, we now have a calendar called Moodle Calendar. If we check the box to the left of that so that it appears, our Moodle calendar now appears inside of our main Outlook calendar. The advantage to this type of calendar is that it can be automatically updated anytime events are updated on our calendar on Moodle, and those changes will show up inside of our local Outlook calendar. One thing to keep in mind with both types of calendar exports is that if you notice, we have our course events, which are the Coral Reef Ecology Lectures and Ecology Lab. We have our campus event, which is the May Day Parade. And then we have our personal event, which is the study session. On Moodle, these 3 different types of events show up in 3 different colors, and they're easily identified by the type of event that they are. However, when we export the calendar or subscribe to the calendar, all events from our Moodle calendar get subscribed to as a single type of event on our Outlook calendar. So you'll lose the designation of personal, course, or campus events when you import them into Outlook. But don't worry, all the events will be there and they're all still loaded up on your Moodle account. Let's go ahead and close Outlook and return back to our Moodle course. And then I'll go back to the main page of my site by clicking on the Linda U link in the upper left-hand corner.